stage 8. Okay, stage 8, paragraph page 606. Okay, and our last head word was take a chance, new word type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First question. What is a reference library? What is a reference library? A reference library
A reference
is a
library
library
is a
where
library
we are allowed
where we are allowed
to read the books,
to read the books,
but we are not allowed
but we are not
to
allowed
borrow them
to borrow
and
them
take them home.
and take them home.
But if we are answering a formal letter, how do we often begin our letter? If we are answering a formal letter, how do we often begin our letter? If we are answering
If we are
a
answering
formal letter,
a formal
we
letter,
often begin
we
our
often
letter
begin our
with
letter
reference to
with reference
your
to
letter
your letter
of 19th January.
of 19th January.
Very good. Okay, what do we mean by the word goods? What do we mean by the word goods? By the word goods,
By the word
we
goods,
mean anything
we mean
that
anything
can be bought
but can be bought
or sold.
or sold.
If you order goods online but they don't arrive, can you cancel the order and get a refund? If you order goods online but they don't arrive, can you cancel the order and get a refund? Yes. If I
Yes,
order goods
if I order
online
goods
but they
online
don't arrive,
but they don't
I
arrive,
can cancel
I
the
can
order
cancel the order
and get a refund.
and get the refund.
Very good. How do we know when a dog is in a good condition? How do we know when a dog is in a good condition? We know a dog
We know a
is
dog
in good condition
is in good
when
condition
its coat
when its
is
coat
shining
is
and
shining
its nose
and its
is
nose
cold and wet.
is cold and wet.
Very good. Why do people go on strike? Why do people go on strike? People go on
People
strike
go on strike
because they want
because they want
more money
more money
or better working conditions.
or better working conditions.
Very good. Do you think that people should have the right to strike? Do you think that people should have the right to strike? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think people
I think people
should have the right
to have the right
to strike.
to strike.
Very good. When you post a letter, do you take it to the post office or do you just put it in the nearest post box? When you post a letter, do you take it to the post office or do you just put it in the nearest post box? When I post a
When I
letter,
post a letter,
I
I just
put it
put
in
it
the nearest post box.
in the nearest post box.
Very good. Where do we find a letter box? Where do we find a letter box? We find a
We
letter
find
box
a letter
in the
box
front door.
in the front door.
Very good. If you can't manage to answer a question, what does the teacher do? If you can't manage to answer a question, what does the teacher do? If I can't manage
If I can't
to
manage
answer a question,
to answer a
the
question,
teacher helps me.
the teacher helps me.
What does a manager do? What does a manager do? A manager
A
manages a
manager
business
manages a business
or part of a business.
or part of a
That
business.
is, he makes
That is, he makes
important decisions
important decisions
about how the business
about how the business
operates.
operates.
Megan, which do you think it's better to possess, brains, beauty, or money? Which do you think it's better to possess, brains, beauty, or money? I think
I
it's
think,
better to
bra-
possess.
sorry,
I
I think
think it's better to possess.
it's better to process
Huh?
a brain
Brains. Why? Why? Because
because
if
why?
you
Because
if you have brains,
if you have brains,
you'll earn
you
a
earn
lot of money.
a lot of money.
Very good. What can we make from corn? What can we make from corn? We can make bread,
We can make bread,
cereal, and
cereal,
many other types.
and many other
of food
types
from corn.
of food from corn.
Very good. What do we do with weeds in a garden? What do we do with weeds in a garden? We pull weeds
We pull it
out of a garden
out of a garden
and either burn them
and either burn them
or throw them away.
or throw them away.
Very good. What does the idiom just the job mean? What does the idiom just the job mean? The idiom
The idiom
just the job means
just the job means
exactly what is
exactly
needed.
what is needed.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. That trip
That trip
to the countryside
to the
last
countryside
weekend
last
was
weekend
just the job.
was just the job.
I feel so relaxed now.
I feel so relaxed now.
Very good. Do you like people who are always laughing and joking? Do you like people who are always laughing and joking? Yes or no? I
Yes,
like people
I like
who are
people
always
who are always
laughing and joking.
laughing and joking.
Can you tell us a joke? Can you tell us a joke? Yes or no?
Yes,
I can tell you
I
a joke.
can oh,
I can tell you
I can tell you
a joke.
a joke.
Very good. What am I pretending to do? What am I pretending to do? You're pretending
You are pretending
to play the piano.
to play the piano.
When children play together, do they often pretend to be adults? When children play together, do they often pretend to be adults? Yes. When
Yes,
children
when
play
children
together,
play together,
they often pretend
they often
to
pretend
be adults.
to be adult.
If you see someone you know in the street, but you're in too much of a hurry to stop and say hello, do you sometimes pretend not to notice them? If you see someone you know in the street, but you're in too much of a hurry to stop and say hello, do you sometimes pretend not to notice them? Yes or no?
Yes,
If I see someone
if I see
I
someone
know in the street,
I know in the
but
street,
I'm in too much
but I'm in too much
of a hurry
of a
to
hurry
stop and say hello,
to stop say hello,
I sometimes pretend
I sometimes pretend
not to notice them.
not to notice them.
Very good. What do we have to put on an envelope before posting a letter? What do we have to put on an envelope before posting a letter? We have to put
We have to
an
put
address
an
and a
address
stamp
in a stamp
on an envelope
on an envelope
before posting a letter.
before posting a letter.
Very good. If you write the address on the envelope but leave out the postcode, will the letter still arrive? If you write the address on the envelope but leave out the postcode, will the letter still arrive? Yes. If I
Yes,
write
if I
the
write
address on
the
the
address
envelope
on the
but
envelope
leave out
but leave
the
out
postcode,
the postcode,
the letter will still arrive,
the letter will still arrive,
but it may take longer.
but it may take longer.
Very good. Okay, next, what am I pretending to do? What am I pretending to do? You're pretending
You are
to
pretending
stamp a piece
to
of
stamp
paper
a piece of paper
with a stamp.
with the stamp.
Very good. Would you find it difficult to behave naturally if you met someone really famous? Would you find it to behave naturally if you met someone really famous? Yes or no?
Mm, yes,
I'd find it difficult
I'd find it difficult
to behave naturally
to behave naturally
if I met somebody
if I met somebody
really famous.
really famous.
Very good. Okay, what do I mean if I say naturally she was pleased about passing the test? What do I mean if I say naturally she was pleased about passing the test? If you say
If you say
naturally she
naturally,
was pleased
she was pleased
about passing the test,
about passing the
you mean
test.
of course
You mean, of
he was
course,
pleased
he was pleased
about passing the test.
about passing the test.
Very good. What is the most recent film you have seen? What is the most recent film you have seen? The most recent film
The most recent
I
film
have seen is
I have seen is Hero Academia.
Hero Academia. Oh, very good. What was it like? That is, was it good, bad, or just so so? What was it like? That is, was it good, bad, or just so so? It was
It was good.
good. Have you been to any concerts recently? Have you been to any concerts recently? Yes or no?
No,
I haven't been
I
to
haven't
any
been
concerts
to any
recently.
concerts recently.
Very good. What can we say instead of the word friend in very informal English? What can we say instead of the word friend in very informal English? We can say
We
mate
can say made
instead of the word
instead of the word
friend in
friend
very informal English.
in very formal
Informal
in
English.
informal English.
Very
In
good.
English.
Very good. What's a housemate or flatmate? What's a housemate or flatmate? A housemate
A
or
housemate
flatmate
or
is
flatmate
someone
is
who we
someone
live with.
who will live with
Do you know the names of all your classmates? Do you know the names of all your classmates? Yes or no?
classmate.
I
Yes,
know the names
I know the
of
names
all my classmates.
of all my classmates.
If you thought one of your workmates was stealing money from the company you work for, what would you do? If you thought one of your workmates was stealing money from the company you work for, what would you do? If I thought
If I thought
one of my workmates
one of my
was
workmates
stealing money
was stealing
from the
money
company
from the
I work
company
for,
I work for,
I'd
I'd
tell my boss.
tell my boss.
Very good. Is there anything you're really looking forward to doing at the moment? Is there anything you're really looking forward to doing at the moment? Yes or no? Is there something that you
Oh,
want to do, like you're looking forward, excited to
mm-hmm.
do?
Yes,
There's something
there's something
I'm really looking forward.
I'm looking
Huh?
forward.
I'm really
I'm really
looking
look
forward
I'm really looking
to
forward
doing at the moment.
to doing at the moment.
What is it? I'm looking forward
I'm looking forward
to.
I'm looking forward
What do you want to do? Like watch a movie, go on vacation,
go on vacation.
vacation. Very good. What kind of things do you look forward to most? What kind of things do you look forward to most? The kind of things
The kind of
I look
things
forward
I look
to
forward to
most
most
are celebrations and
celebrations
vacations.
and vacations.
Very good. What does the expression "let me see" mean? What does the expression "let me see" mean? The expression
The
"let
expression
me see" means
let me see
give
means
me time to think
give me time to think
for a minute.
for a minute.
On what kind of occasions do we use it? On what kind of occasions do we use it? We use it on
We use
occasions
it on
when
occasion
we are thinking
when we are thinking
about something
about something
and we are not
and we are not
completely sure
completely
of
sure
the answer.
of the answer.
Very good. If you were the owner of a business and one of your workers stole something from the business, would you give them a second chance or would you dismiss them at once? If you were the owner of a business and one of your workers stole something from the business, would you give them a second chance or would you dismiss them at once? If I were
If
the
I
owner
were the owner
of a business
of a
and one
business
of my workers
and one of my
stole
workers
something from the
stole
business,
something from the business,
I'd
I'd なんだっけ
dismiss
I'd
them at once.
dismiss them at once
Right? Why? Why? Because I can't
because
trust them anymore.
I I can't
Trust them
trust them
anymore.
anymore.
Very good. Supposing there was a place, shall we say, somewhere in the middle of a jungle in South America, where you knew for sure there was about 50 million pounds worth of gold, but the chances of returning alive were only 50-50. Would you go and take a chance and try your luck, or would you just stay at home and dream about it? Supposing there was a place, shall we say, somewhere in the middle of a jungle in South America, where we knew for sure that there was about 50 million pounds worth of gold, but the chances of returning alive were only 50-50. Would you go and take a chance and try your luck, or would you just stay at home and dream about it? Supposing there
Supposing
was a place
There was a
Shall we
place.
say somewhere,
So we say
in
somewhere
the middle of a jungle
in the middle
in
of a
South
jungle
America
in South
where
America
I knew for
where
sure
where I knew for sure
that there was about
that there was
50
about
million
50
pounds
million pounds
worth of gold,
worth of gold,
but the chances
but its chances
of returning alive
of returning
were
alive
only 50-50.
were only 50-50.
I'd take my chance
I'd take my
and
chance
try my luck.
and try my luck.
Why? Why? Because
Because
I
why?
like
Because
I like
I
adventure.
I like adventure.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Okay,
Okay,
new
very
word.
good. Okay, so let's have the first one. Repeat. Whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Whistle.
Whistle.
Very good.
Whistle.
Okay, listen.
Whistle.
Whistle is a verb. For example, I'm whistling. So that's a
I'm
whistle. Okay,
whistle.
so let's practice. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Oh,
You're whistling.
you are whistling.
Very good. Next,
Whistle.
hunt.
Hunt.
Very good. Okay, listen.
Hunt.
The word hunt is a verb. To hunt means to kill animals for food. Like, for example, a rabbit, squirrel, owls, or boar, birds, etc. For example, many years ago, humans have to hunt animals for food. Let's practice. Many years ago, did humans have to hunt animals for food? Many years ago, did humans have to hunt animals for food? Yes. Many
Yes.
years ago,
Many years ago,
humans had to hunt
humans had to hunt
animals for food.
animals for food.
Very good. Next, repeat. Deed.
Deed.
Very good. Deed. Okay. Listen,
Deed.
the word deed is a noun. It is something that is done, an act or action. For example, we should judge a person by his deeds more than by his words because it's easier to say things than to do them. Okay, let's practice. Why should we judge a person by his deeds more than by his words? Why should we judge a person by his deeds more than by his words? We should judge a person
We should we should judge a person
by his deeds
by his deeds
more than
more
by his
than
words
by his works
because it's easier
because it's
to
easier
say things
to say
than to
things
do them.
than to do them.
Very good. Next, breathe.
Please
Well, with the letter G, grease.
grease.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word grease is a noun. It is
Grease.
something oily that we use to make different parts of a machine move smoothly. And we
Uh-huh.
put it in
Grease.
cars. Let's practice. What do we use grease for? What do we use grease for? We use grease
We use
to
grease
make the different parts
to make the different part
of a machine
of a machine
move smoothly.
moves
Smoothly.
smoothly.
Very good. Next, scissors.
Scissors.
Very good. So scissors is a noun. We use a
Mhm.
pair of scissors for cutting paper. Let's practice. What do we use a pair of scissors for? What do we use a pair of scissors for? We use
We
a
use
pair of scissors
a pair of
for
scissors
cutting paper,
for cutting paper,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Next, take control.
Take control.
Lose
Take
con-
control.
lose control.
Lose control.
Very good. Okay, listen. Take control is a phrasal verb. If you're driving a bus, you take control of it, whether you go right or left or whether you go fast or slow. Lose control is a phrasal verb. If you're driving a bus and you lose control of it, you can't control which to go and you can't control its speed also. For example, if I were on a bus going downhill and the driver suddenly lost control of the bus, I take control of the bus. Okay, let's practice. If you were in a bus going downhill and the driver suddenly lost control of the bus, what did you do? If you were in a bus going downhill and the driver suddenly lost control of the bus, what did you do?
What do
If I were in a
If
bus
if I were in a bus
going downhill
going
and
downhill
the driver
and
suddenly
driver
lost
suddenly
control of the
lost
bus.
control of the
I
bus.
try to take control.
I I'd try taken
I try to take control
I tried to take control
of the bus.
of the bus.
Very good. Okay, so let's move on to reading.
Oh, okay. Reading.
Okay, so our reading is at stage 7, paragraph page 520. Last headword was education. Okay, please start at headword northern, southern, eastern, western state.
Okay, 20.